Hey people, spiritual warfare is our theme. Yesterday we spoke about the battles that are made for God. God wants to fight those battles on your behalf. He says, stand back, be obedient, do what I tell you to do, and I'll do the rest. But there's a beautiful aspect that I should have mentioned to you yesterday that's worth building on. Worship is a great tool. Satan hates worship. And when we turn our attention towards worshiping God, he flees. It says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. When you resist him with worship, he flees. He doesn't just walk away. He doesn't just drift to the sea. He flees from you at the point of you using worship as a tool to get rid of him and to get victory in your temptation. This is one of the greatest aspects of spiritual warfare. We tend to understate it, but this is a great tool. Let's talk about it for a little bit. Yesterday we spoke about Joshua and Jericho, and when they shouted sang songs of worship for God, and the walls came tumbling down. It's a great picture of the power of worship at that particular moment in your life. Now, as we look at these things, sorry, the fly's getting me. As we look at these beautiful truths, we need to say, well, how do they apply in my life? Well, as you look at the scriptures, you see how practical this is. I think of Jehoshaphat, when Jehoshaphat needed to go into battle against an army that was far bigger than him. And he said, Lord, what do I do? And God said, I know how to fight this battle, Jehoshaphat. Let me tell you, send your worship team in first. Send the worship team into the battle ahead of your army. And Joshua must have thought, ooh, you try and tell the worship team that when they're going to go into this big battle against a huge mighty army, and they must go in first? Are you sure? And God said, just do it. So Jehoshaphat persuaded the worship team to go in ahead of the battle, and they sang a beautiful song. It sang of worshiping God and how great he was and how awesome he was. I'm so sorry. That's our peacock, and he tends to want some attention. Anyway, Jehoshaphat sent the army in with a worship team in front. After the worship team got in there, they realized that God had gone ahead of them, and the army lay dead in the valley. No battle needed to be fought. All they had to do was understand the power of worship. Now, worship comes in different shapes and forms. Some people would love to sing worship. That's one of my preferences. And if you can't sing, then you can play great worship music. And even if you can't sing, you can still sing. You can still make a noise where you're just talking to God about how great he is. Talk about his glory. Don't sing about yourself. All these I want you, I need you, I can't do without you songs. Try and keep away from there. There's a place for some of those. But I think when we tell God how great he is, how awesome he is, how powerful he is, something I can't explain, it's like a mystery thing, rises up within you that strengthens you for what you perceive the battle needs, only to find you don't need it at all, because God has gone before you. Let's learn from Jehoshaphat. Let's learn from Joshua at Jericho, the power of worship. When you feel in temptation, or when you feel in a place of depression, or where you feel oppressed by the things that are going on around you, and where Satan is whispering lies into your head and distracting you and stealing from your life, because that's who he is. He's a liar and he's a thief. Turn on worship music and watch the atmosphere change. We learn this from Elisha. Great story. Elisha was asked by the kings to give them a word from the Lord. He said, bring me a guitarist, bring me a harpist. And in the context of great music, God brought great calm to him, and he could hear so clearly the voice of the Lord in the context of worship. Turn the worship music on, people. Stop listening to all the mumbo-jumbo stuff that there is out there. Turn on the worship music and watch the mood change as God changes the atmosphere. And in the atmosphere that God creates, there is always found great victory in the spirit realm. Worship is very often the key. Turn it on, listen to it, and sing your heart out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.